You are 16 years old. It is 11:04 p.m. You are on your knees in aisle 7, and there are 40,000 loose Lego pieces on the floor. They smell like plastic and cardboard and the industrial cleaner they use on the linoleum. Your shift ended at 8. No one came to relieve you. The inventory system does not save progress. You start over. Again. From piece 1, you make $8.75 an hour. You applied because you thought working here would be fun. You thought it would feel like the commercial. The jingle played in your head when you filled out the application. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. You are not a kid right now. You are a unit of labor counting plastic bricks by yourself in an empty store because the system requires a physical count and no one above you cares how long it takes. Welcome to Toys R Us. This is what it feels like at every single position. From counting Lego at midnight for $8.75 an hour to signing the documents that send 33,000 people to unemployment without a single dollar of severance. Wage, $8.75. Hour. Average age, 16 to 19. At its peak, Toys R Us operated 1,500 stores. Each ran 4 cashiers per shift. You are one of 6,000 people doing exactly what you are doing right now. The fantasy lasts exactly one day. Day 1. The blue and yellow uniform fits. Your name tag says your name. Jeffrey the giraffe is on every wall. The store smells like new plastic and fresh cardboard. It feels like being inside a childhood memory. You smile at every customer because it is not hard to smile yet. Day 2. The work starts. The customer's name is Doug. He is 52. He carries a toy with no box, no receipt, and no packaging. It is open. He says he bought it 8 months ago. He wants a full refund. The manual says no. Your manager says yes. You process the refund. You learn the first real rule of Toys R Us. Policies are for employees. They do not apply to customers who raise their voices. It is December 26th. There are 47 people in your line. The payment system goes down at 2:17 p.m. You have no authorization to do anything. You cannot override. You cannot switch registers. You cannot call corporate. You can wait and smile. That is your entire job description in this moment. Smile while the system fails. Your photo goes on the wall. Employee of the month. You receive a $25 Toys R Us gift card. You cannot spend it on Amazon. Toys R Us cannot compete with Amazon either. No one in corporate is talking about that yet. It is 2008. You miss your best friend's graduation party. No one covers your shift. Your manager says he is sorry. He is not sorry. A customer asks if they can order online. You do not know. The online inventory system does not exist in any meaningful way. No one trained you to answer that question. You say you will check. There is nothing to check. You lose the sale. You do not know what just happened. The customer goes home and types toys into Amazon. Wage, $10.50 hour. Average age, 18 to 25. Your official job is to help customers. Your real job is to make people buy things they do not need using techniques no one officially taught you, but everyone already knows. You are assigned metrics. Extended warranty sales. For every $100 in warranties sold, you earn $2 extra. You learn to sell them on products that do not need them. You learn to say, most people get this one even when that is not true. No one tells you to do this. Everyone does it. You figure that out by your third shift. The customer's name is Patricia. She is 67. She is buying a video game for her grandson. She does not know what console he has. You do not ask the right question. You sell her the wrong game. She drives back 3 days later. Your manager tells you to confirm the console next time. He does not mention the 45 minutes Patricia spent in her car twice to fix your mistake. It is 4 a.m. on Black Friday. 200 people are outside. Your instructions say do not open until 6 a.m. A man starts knocking on the glass. Then another. Then another. You are alone inside with a key and a radio that cuts out. You wait. The instructions say wait. The instructions were written by someone who has never stood inside a dark store alone, while 200 people with 2 hours of cold on them press against the glass. Your commission for the week is $14. It arrives bundled with your regular check. It is not itemized. You have no way to verify if the number is correct. You do not ask. You cash the check. You cancel 3 appointments between October and January. The contract says the job requires occasional flexibility. Occasional means every weekend from fall to New Year without exception. 4 customers today tell you they found it cheaper on Amazon. You have no authorization to price match. There is no price match policy. You lose 4 sales. You write nothing down. No one asks. Wage, $14 hour. Average age, 22 to 30. You supervise a section. Video games, baby gear, outdoor vehicles. You have authority over 4 people. You have no authority over anything that actually matters. You can tell people what to do. You cannot approve overtime. You cannot change prices. You cannot resolve major complaints. You are the ceiling for everyone below you and the floor for everyone above you. Neither treats you well. Your employee's name is Kevin. He is 17. He is late for the 3rd time. The manual says, termination after 3 tardies. You know his mother works 2 jobs and he makes breakfast for his brothers before his shift. You follow the manual. Kevin is terminated on Tuesday. On Wednesday, his section is covered by a temp worker who does not know where anything is. Sales in that section drop 18% that week. No one connects those 2 facts. The inventory is wrong. The system shows 200 units. The shelf holds 147. Either someone is stealing or the system is broken. You report it up. They tell you to investigate. You do not have the tools to investigate. You write a report. The report disappears into the chain of command. You never hear what happened. The discrepancy stays in the numbers. Quietly. You receive a plaque, acrylic, department lead of the quarter. They hang it in the break room. The break room is a closet with a microwave and no windows. No one sees the plaque. Your girlfriend does not understand why you work every Sunday. You do not have a good answer. Your contract says schedule based on operational needs. Operational needs means Sundays, indefinitely. Corporate sends a planogram. Reorganize the section. 3 weeks later, another one. Reorganize again. Each reorganization costs 20 hours of labor and disrupts sales for a week. The last corporate representative who visited this store came 14 months ago. The store layout has changed 4 times since then. Salary, $38,000 year. Average age, 25 to 35. You are the connection between employees who resent the company and a manager who fears corporate. Everyone needs you. No one backs you up. Every problem rises to you first. Every solution has to come down from above. You are the human filter in a system designed to slow everything down. Employees believe you have real power. Your manager believes you control the staff. Neither is entirely wrong. Neither is entirely right. An employee named Sandra comes to you. She is 34, 2 kids, 6 years with the company. She tells you the night shift manager changed her schedule without notice and she lost her shift at her 2nd job. You have no authority over night scheduling. You tell her that. Sandra resigns 2 weeks later. She was the only person in the building who knew how to operate the legacy return system. It takes you 3 weeks to figure out how it works yourself. It is Christmas Eve. 4 employees called out. You are covering 2 sections with 1 team. You can call part-time staff, but you cannot approve overtime without the store manager's signature. The store manager does not answer his phone. You make the call. You approve the overtime. On Monday, there is a memo about overtime authorization protocol. It is addressed to you specifically. Your annual bonus is $800. It arrives in February. It covers approximately 2.1% of the uncompensated hours you worked the previous year. Your doctor says you have gastritis. She tells you to reduce your stress levels. You laugh in her office. She does not understand why. The monthly report on your desk shows that online sales at competing retailers increased 34% last quarter. You do not know what to do with that information. It is not your decision. You forward it upward. You receive no response. Salary, $62,000 year. Average age 30 to 45. You are responsible for everything. You control almost nothing. Your store generates $8 million per year. Your operating budget is decided by someone in Wayne, New Jersey who has never set foot in your building. Corporate sets the prices. Corporate controls the inventory. Corporate designs the promotions. You execute. When something fails, it belongs to you. When something works, it belongs to the system. Your best employee is named Marcus. He is 28. He has been with you 4 years. He knows this store better than you did when you arrived. He tells you Target offered him $4 more per hour. You cannot match it. You have no authorization to deviate from the pay scale. Marcus leaves on Friday. It takes 11 weeks to hire and train someone who reaches 60% of what Marcus could do. You spend those 11 weeks covering for the gap personally. Your store's shrink rate is 14%. Corporate wants 8%. You have 3 options. Hire more security, no budget, reduce shelf inventory, reduces sales, or file reports that make the number look better than it is. You choose option 2. Sales drop 6%. Corporate calls asking about the sales decline. No one asks about the shrink. You receive a Store of the Quarter award for your region, a plaque. The regional manager visits for 90 minutes and produces 14 pages of improvement notes you are expected to implement without additional budget or staff. Your marriage has been in therapy for 18 months. The therapist asks, when you last took a full week of vacation, you do the math. 3 years. Corporate sends a new planogram. Full store reorganization for enhanced customer experience. It costs 40 hours of labor. Sales do not change. 3 regular customers tell you directly that the new layout confuses them. There is no mechanism to report that feedback upward. It stays with you. Salary, $105,000 year plus bonuses. Average age, 38 to 50. You supervise 40 stores. That is approximately 4,000 employees. You no longer know their names. You see their numbers. You used to know Sandra and Marcus and Kevin. Now you see metrics. Store 0847. Sales down 6%, shrink up 3%. Store 1,203. Performance acceptable. Store 0391. Third consecutive week in the red. Those are people. You no longer see them that way. The scale made that impossible, and no one warned you that would happen. The manager of Store 0391 is named Carmen. She is 41 years old, 12 years with the company. Her store sits inside a mall that lost 2 anchor tenants in the past 6 months. Foot traffic dropped 40% for reasons entirely outside her control. What you see, Store 0391 red 3 weeks in a row. You place Carmen on a performance improvement plan. 60 days to bring the numbers up. The mall keeps dying. The numbers do not come up. You terminate her on day 61. The store closes 4 months later regardless. Carmen was right about the mall. That does not appear in any report. There is no field for it. You closed 3 stores this quarter to hit corporate reduction targets. That is 300 employees. You choose the 3 with the worst performance metrics. You do not investigate why their performance is low. You do not have time. The report is due Friday. Your bonus for the quarter is $18,000, tied to cost reduction goals. You process that fact before the check arrives. Your son turns 13. You arrive halfway through the cake. No one says anything. It is the 3rd time this has happened at a birthday. At the annual leadership conference, an analyst presents data on e-commerce trends. Toys R Us has lost 27% of its market share to Amazon over the past 5 years. The CEO says the company is evaluating digital strategies. No one asks a follow-up question. They serve salmon at lunch. You eat the salmon. Salary? $210,000, year plus stock. Average age, 45 to 55. You design strategy executed across 1,500 stores and 33,000 employees. Your mistakes do not have names. They have quarters. You approve the planograms that confuse customers. You sign the overtime policies that assistant managers cannot execute. You approved vendor contracts that filled shelves with product no one buys. Carmen lived with the consequences. Marcus walked out because of the pay scale you locked in. Kevin lost his job because of the manual you never updated. You see none of that. You see variance reports and quarterly projections. Your analyst's name is James. He is 29, MBA from Wharton. He presents a report. Toys R Us must invest $500 million in digital infrastructure within 18 months or the company will lose relevance permanently. The report is 94 pages. You read it diagonally. In the meeting, you say you need to evaluate the timing carefully. The report gets filed. James resigns 8 months later. He takes a position at Amazon, specifically on the Amazon toy division. He brings everything he knows. In 2000, the company made a decision with consequences that are now fully visible. It handed its e-commerce operations to Amazon in a 10-year partnership agreement. It seemed efficient. It gave Amazon Toys R Us's customer data, purchase patterns, and market intelligence. Amazon learned exactly which toys sell, at what price, in which season. In 2006, Amazon opened its toy marketplace to third-party sellers, violating the exclusivity clause. Toys R Us sued. They won. But the data was already transferred. That decision was made before you arrived. But you were in the rooms where the follow-up decisions were made. You did not raise the question. Your stock options are worth $340,000 when you exercise them in 2015, 2 years before the bankruptcy. The timing is precise. It is not illegal. It is also not accidental. Your cholesterol is high. You ignore it. Your third marriage works because your spouse has her own career and does not require your presence to feel stable. The company's total debt is $5 billion. Most of it came from the 2005 leveraged buyout by KKR, Bain Capital, and Vornado Realty Trust. Every year, Toys R Us pays approximately $400 million in interest alone. That is $400 million. That does not go to technology, does not go to employees, does not go to competing with Amazon. This fact appears in every financial report. It is never raised in a strategy meeting. There is no agenda item for it. Salary, $4.9 million year. Average age, 55 to 65. You control a company with 1,500 stores, 33,000 employees, and $11 billion in annual revenue. The debt is $5 billion. Annual interest payments are $400 million. Sales decline 3% per year. You have done the math. You did it 3 years ago. You already know what this means. Everyone believes you can fix it. You understand the problem has a 1-2-year history. It starts with the 2005 sale to KKR, Bain Capital, and Vornado. You were hired to manage a company that arrived in surgery with a decade-long internal hemorrhage. You are paid as though you can stop it with a memo. An employee in the Wayne, New Jersey store is named Denise. She is 44 years old. She has worked for Toys R Us for 19 years. When the company files for bankruptcy, Denise will receive $0 in severance. The pension fund will be $36 million short. The bankruptcy lawyers will bill $350 million in fees over the course of the proceedings. Denise will collect nothing. You have never met Denise, but you will sign the documents that determine her future on the 18th of September 2017. On the 18th of September 2017, Toys R Us files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. You announce it as a restructuring, not a liquidation. You say the company will continue operating. You say employees are protected. 6 months later, every store closes, and 33,000 people lose their jobs. They receive no severance. The company is technically in bankruptcy when that decision is made, which means the legal system allows it. This is not illegal. It is exactly what the structure permits. Weeks before the bankruptcy filing, the board of directors approves $16 million in retention bonuses for senior executives. The stated reason, retaining key talent through the restructuring period. The $16 million is real. It is documented in court filings. The 33,000 employees who received no severance are also real, also documented. Both things happen simultaneously, in the same company, signed by the same people. You retire. You receive strong professional references. You are hired as a consultant by other retail companies. Your expertise in restructuring is considered valuable. Your LinkedIn profile does not include a section for irony. In 2018, Jeffrey the Giraffe is auctioned off for $17,000. The company's headquarters building in Wayne, New Jersey is sold. The buyer is Amazon. This is not a metaphor. It is the actual forwarding address. As cashier, you believe it is temporary. You end up being the last person to turn off the lights in a store, closing forever. As sales associate, you believe selling warranties is a little dishonest. You end up becoming the system that makes you do it. As department lead, you believe you will protect your team. You end up signing Kevin's termination because the manual requires it. As assistant manager, you believe the problem is communication. You end up with gastritis and a memo about overtime addressed specifically to you. As store manager, you believe that working hard enough will move you up. You end up with 3 years without a vacation and a marriage in therapy. As regional manager, you believe you see the full picture. You end up seeing metrics where there used to be people. As VP, you believe your strategy matters. You end up filing the report that would have saved the company. As CEO, you believe you can restructure the company. You end up approving $16 million in executive bonuses while 33,000 people lose their severance. The jingle. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. The company that built its entire identity on never growing up was purchased by private equity funds that never looked at a single toy. They looked at debt ratios and cash flow and leverage. Amazon did not kill Toys R Us. A decision made in 2005 by people for whom toys were never the point killed Toys R Us. The products were irrelevant. The balance sheet was the product. If you were 16 and someone offered you that blue and yellow uniform today, knowing everything you just heard, would you take it? Because there is something worse than that question. The 33,000 people who took the uniform believed the company would still be standing. They believed the job was real. They believed they mattered more than a line item in a restructuring memo. 2 of those things were true, for a while. The third was never part of the agreement. It just was not written anywhere they could read it. Those Lego pieces you counted that night at 11 p.m. still exist somewhere. They were sold in liquidation for $0.10 each. The building where your store stood is something else now. The inventory system that did not save your progress was discarded with everything else. And Jeffrey the Giraffe, who promised that place would last forever, was auctioned off for $17,000. No one knows who bought him. It probably does not matter.